Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all, the message for today is the ebb and flow. Didn't get a whole lot of cards flying out today, but it's pretty a powerful message. Really, it's a message about change, the ebb and flow. And it's interesting that there's two cards that are kind of challenge cards, and they're crossing one card, and then there's a card off to the side. I'm trying to decide where I want to start. I think we'll start with this 11 of water. And this is part of that ebb and flow. It's kind of a cognitive dissonance energy, the whole reading is. And what's interesting about it, though, is that sometimes it's easy to point to a person or a group of people and see an obvious cognitive dissonance because you have had an education or an experience that you know beyond what they know. And so it's easy to say they're just stuck in their ways, they're stuck in their beliefs, they're not willing to evolve. And then it's not so easy to see it for ourselves. And so we all have these. We all have these shadow aspects that we don't see it, we just don't see it. And then when we do see it, when it's pointed out to us, there might be a strong resistance to it. And it's like, but I'm the evolved one. I have done all the changing. I've done the learning. And so it looks like that's a big challenge for a lot of people right now. And so this encapsulates that cognitive dissonance where there's some sort of muddied thinking or muddied, cloudy perception that's wanting to be washed away. And so what's challenging that is the 8 of Earth going one way and the Death and Rebirth card going another way. So it's like, looking at these, there's a fight between these energies that are causing some sort of a cognitive dissonance. So starting with this one, the 8 of Earth, and how I feel about this deck, if you've been watching me for a while, this is probably my most favorite deck ever. She somewhat followed the tarot, but then she just went her own way with a lot of it. So this would be like the 8 of Pentacles, I guess. It's the 8 of Earth. But with this, I don't know. When I look at this card, I feel like saying, let your freak flag fly. It reminds me of in older cultures and even modern, or not modern, but current cultures where they will have a specific medicine person, a specific healer, or specific healers. This just reminds me of the healer that would live on the edge of the village and just kind of do their own thing. They are a person who holds power. You see they've got this ball of power right here, and then there's this really powerful dragon staff, and at the very tip of that staff is a purple penis with all this light coming out. So this is a person who embodies magic and knowledge, and it feels very like a shaman kind of an energy. And in a very androgynous energy, and so they embody the masculine and the feminine. And I don't know why, I just feel like the healers and everything have always been kind of, again, on the fringe of society anyway. Even if it was a tightly knit village, people probably feared their power. Why do they have the power to remove the evil spirits from our bodies and our minds and our souls? So there's something in this power, and that's why it feels like maybe you have come to a place of great magic and knowledge and power, yet something new is trying to be born within you. And so isn't it funny how even coming into this power, we still can have an ego. We can still, have to go through the trials of it's time to change, it's time to shift, it's time to grow, it's time to renew. And so this energy being crossed by this energy of the death and the rebirth, we just barely, just a couple days ago, ended the Chinese New Year of the snake and entered into the year of the fire dragon, or not dragon, fire horse, sorry. And so this baby, this renewal, there's something that has been gestating though within. And I feel like, if you do identify with this type of energy, you yourself are the one who's called in, who has been gestating this rebirth, but it's still not easy to change. It's still not easy to call what you know or what you think you know into question, and to say, maybe I've been looking at it wrong. Now, this isn't for me to overly identify or overly define, because this could be a different experience for everybody. And yeah, again, I don't want to overly define it, but it does look like something is being asked to let it die, let the old die, and, shedding that old skin so that the new can be born. So again, it looks like there is a challenge going on. And then what is affecting this is your abundance. This is the Mother card, very strongly equivalent to the Empress, and upright, this would be abundance. This would be, and it's so funny because she's pregnant, and then here is this baby gestating, and so she's pregnant. This is like all things flow to her. She gives birth to things. She cultivates the garden. She has been cultivating for many years, and so she's deserved this abundance. She's wise. She is the culmination of all the queens. But in this reversal, it's more that shadow aspect. And so maybe she doesn't really value herself. Maybe she doesn't trust the work that she's done. She doesn't believe in herself. Maybe she doesn't speak her truth. Maybe she has self-worth issues. She doesn't trust that she will be provided for. And so I could just get a lot of fear and a lot of blockage to the abundance, to the flow of energy. Maybe her creativity is stifled, and I'm just getting a lot of trust blocked here. Like she doesn't trust her intuition. She doesn't trust that she will be provided for. She doesn't trust that her communication will be well received. Maybe she doesn't even trust herself. Maybe she gaslights herself. Maybe she believes more in a superficial paradigm, and that could be whatever it is. And what a contrast to even this energy, even though it's crossing with this, it's just a contrast. So it feels like a lot of beliefs are coming up to be what's the word? It's almost like a reckoning coming up for evaluation, really. We are going to be going into Mercury retrograde on the 26th. Today is the 20th of February. So we're coming into this space of reevaluating, reimagining, redoing. So it could be that a lot of things are surfacing with this cognitive dissonance and all of that. And so I called this an ebb and flow kind of energy, because there is a time when we stand full on and strong in our mastery, in our abundance of, this is how life works, and this is how life is working for me, and I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's the flow. And then there's an ebb where things seem to recede, and it's like what used to work isn't working anymore. And I thought I had it figured out, and now nothing that I do seems to, it seems to be proving true. And so now I have to reevaluate my belief systems, or my approach to life, or my formulas, or whatever it is. So but because she is pregnant, and because we have this death rebirth card, and because this is a major arcana, a lot of times when major arcanas are reversed, and again, this one is reversed to this, so who's to say which of these would be seen as reversed and which would be upright. So I feel like there is something gestating right now, and so neither of these represent an ultimate truth, and ultimately that's what this reading is about, that maybe there is no ultimate truth. Maybe the parameters of understanding, what the previous understanding was, the truth did hold weight within those parameters, but now those parameters are being dissolved, and so new truths are being revealed. It reminds me a lot of the rules of physics dictates the laws of physics, but then how all of that goes away when you start studying quantum mechanics and quantum physics. It's, the rules just don't apply anymore. So, you're becoming quantum, moving in a more quantum reality. So something is gestating. I would say, trust and flow with the process of life. It's a Louise Hay quote, one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Trust and flow with the process of life. You haven't lost your magic. You haven't lost your knowledge. This is just an opportunity to deepen into the mysteries and to expand into knowing and allowing and flowing with more. So I do believe that you will restore yourself to this upright dignity and beauty and flow and abundance and knowledge and communication and trust. But for now, sometimes we have to face our fears again and again and again before we develop the trust that it's not our timing. We're not necessarily in control. We get to choose what we focus on. We get to learn about the power of alignment and vibrational frequency. But if we're in fear, then it doesn't matter how much we know, we're going to block all of that. And so life wants to take us forward and push us further so that we can deepen into not only trust in the universe, but trust in ourselves. All right, that's all I have for today. If you would like a palm tarot or astrology reading from me, you are welcome to find that information. My Calendly link will be either in the show notes or in the comments section or wherever you're watching this. Or if you happen to be in the downtown Asheville area, come on into Instant Karma. It's a one-stop hippie shop in downtown Asheville on Lexington. I'm here on Fridays and Saturdays, and you can always message me to make sure I'll be here, because sometimes I'm away singing. But either way, I would love to do a reading for you. And that's all I have for today. Peace and love until next time.
Wow.